Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I don't know what the price of XRP is by the time you're watching this video. Things happen fast in crypto. But at the time that I'm recording this video, which by the way is 8:08 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday, January 31st, 2024, XRP is broken below 50 cents. It's at 49.7 cents, and the sentiment in the XRP community, let's just say, it's been higher in the past. I'm not saying that everybody's panicking, but you go on social media, and there's a certain percentage of people that are more prone to freak out when price go down, and they're very vocal. And so if you're on social media platform X, which is basically where the XRP community lives online, you may have noticed this. So what is actually causing this? Talk about that a little bit, because here's a headline that kind of freaking nails it from Cointelegraph. Bitcoin price stumbles after Fed dashes hopes for rate cuts in March. So a couple things. It's hilarious and kind of cute that the market seems to think that rate cuts would be super duper and fantastic because there's not sufficient historic precedent to make us think that would be the case. Not that there's literally none, but so think about the last three Fed cuts. Not been so great, right? And it's been reactionary, but still, it is what it is. Like, data's data. And so Bitcoin price went down. That's why XRP went down. But I want to expand upon this. Before going further, though, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so Bitcoin's down 1.86%. XRP is down 2.81%. But there are a lot of other cryptocurrencies that are doing substantially worse than XRP today. Isn't that kind of funny how XRP, so the market was red yesterday too, broadly speaking, and XRP was a little bit worse than much of the market. Now, there's a fair bit of the market that's doing a lot worse than XRP. For instance, Solana, down 6.43%. Cardano, down 4.59%. Avalanche, down 6.85%. Now, well, it just changed, 6.98%. OKB down 6.99%. Arbitrum down 8.52%. I mean, you can go down there. There are a lot of coins that are doing worse. Optimism, OP, 7.54%. Celestia down 9.47%. And the rest of them, I mean, so like, oh, here's another one. C Network, I don't even know what that is, 9.71%. The point is there's a ton, and yes, some of them are going to be more like the 2 or 3% like XRP, but there are a ton of coins that are doing way worse. It's just the case that whatever you're holding, when you see it goes down, especially if it's a substantially large position that's yours, it's of crucial importance to you specifically. When it goes down, you're more prone to be freaking out, and I totally get that. I understand. But it's not an indication that there's something unique about XRP. The market is down today. You know, here's the 24-hour chart for Bitcoin. And so you can see in the afternoon here when Jerome Powell started speaking, market ultimately didn't take it too well, let's say, because, you know, around the time he started speaking, it was what, like $43,500 or so. That's what Bitcoin was. Now it's right around $42,000. If you're looking at the screen, you can see on the 24-hour chart. Yeah, it's gone down. And here's the 24-hour chart for XRP. If you looked at what's happened since the afternoon onward, it's just mirroring it. It's doing the same thing. This isn't like an XRP specific event here. Obviously, right? And so there's this post from XRP analyst Dark Defender, and he posted this at 12:31 p.m. Before markets had a chance to respond to what Jerome Powell would ultimately say, because the Fed, again, just paused rates. That was the problem. Apparently, that's a problem. I don't think it's a problem. I think that's good. But Dark Defender shared this chart and wrote the following. And we have the benefit of hindsight. He didn't at the time, so keep that in mind. But he said, look at the XRP. Always on the edges, holding our support with love. Yeah, until the bad news broke and the entire market took a hit. So that's not at all, like, you don't know what's going to happen. It's funny enough, if we got the bad news that there were rate cuts, the market presumably would think that's great and rejoice. For a bit, until reality would smack everyone in the face. Although I know technically that's not a sure thing. I understand technically we could get rate cuts and then the market could keep moving to the upside. It's just that if you look at most data points, that's not typically what happens. But of course, you can start talking about what's happened on a macro scale when that happens. When the rate cuts in the 90s, as I pointed out in a recent video, you know, the market did keep moving to the upside. But if you look at the last three rate cuts, not so much. But, I mean, you're looking at, what happened with the pandemic, obviously. So it was reactionary. Same with the 2008 financial collapse. That was reactionary, cutting rates. So this does look different than that. But still, I shared this post 7:25 p.m. tonight. XRP at 49 cents, and I shared a little celebration emoji, which was highly sarcastic, obviously. Who are all these people hitting hard on this? You gotta have a little bit of fun. All I can do is laugh sometimes, right? It's okay. But there is this post from chart analyst Crypto Rover, who wrote, XRP is breaking down on this 3-year consolidation pattern. And again, like I said at the outset of the video, who knows what it is by the time you're watching this. Maybe XRP price is lower, maybe it's higher. But that does nothing to dissuade me from my perspective. It does nothing to take away from what I'm going to share with you throughout the rest of this video. And so you can see on the chart breaking down from this particular triangle. And attorney Bill Morgan reposted that because he knows I'm an optimist when it comes to XRP. And he tagged me and he said, Moon Lambo, good luck putting a positive spin on that one. Not that I put all that much stock into patterns for such volatile assets. And fair enough. I appreciate the tag. Thank you, attorney Morgan. And so I responded with the following. Positive spin? Easy. I'm not a chart guy, of course, so I can't speak to chart patterns. But volatility doesn't scare me. I expect it based on 15 years of crypto history in terms of price action. Either my investment thesis that utility matters will result in XRP being worth way more next time the market as a whole pumps, or I'm wrong, utility doesn't matter, and XRP goes to zero one day. I think everyone knows how I placed my bet, though. When XRP was $2 in April 2021, it didn't matter to me. When XRP was 10 cents in March 2020, it didn't matter to me. The extreme volatility on its own is not an indicator of long-term viability. And so, folks, I do very sincerely mean that. The short-term price action in and of itself is not an indicator of anything. All it does is scare people or make people feel euphoric or very happy, even if for a fleeting moment. That's all that it's doing in the short term. That doesn't paint the picture of XRP goes to zero or XRP hits new all-time high. It paints neither, which is why I keep saying it doesn't matter. There's a reason I sleep easy at night. I know this doesn't matter. It literally could not possibly matter less to me. And again, the entire market is moving in tandem, broadly speaking. So if Bitcoin is going to break to the upside, let's say it hits a new all-time high, do you think that XRP is just going to keep tanking to the downside? If so, please state your case as to why. Either utility doesn't matter then, which I cannot possibly believe, or we're wrong about the degree to which XRP is utility. But I think it's got plenty of utility. I think that it's great in terms of payment. I think there are a number of reasons that the market over the span of a decade has chosen XRP to be one of only 3 cryptos to have always been in the top 10 cryptos by market cap for its entire existence. Which, doesn't that mean something to you folks? Doesn't that tell you that the market is agreeing with you if you're long XRP in terms of its long-term viability, not just when you're going to sell, but in terms of it actually lasting perhaps for decades? If you feel that way, isn't this an indication that the market, at least right now, agrees with you? Because yes, the asset class moves in tandem, but there are a reason that cryptocurrencies are ranked the way that they are ranked. It is exceedingly rare to find a coin that has always been in the top 10 cryptos by market cap for its entire existence, because there are only 3. It's Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP. That's it. It's exceedingly rare. And to have been tested for this long, over a decade? So no. And you can call it spin if you want to. This is what I genuinely believe. This is how I look at it. And either I'm right or I'm wrong. And I don't know for sure. I admit that. And I'm not a chart guy. I placed my bet, and I put a substantial amount of my real money that I earned in real life into XRP because I do believe it's going to be worth way more in the future. That's that. And if it goes down lower first, okay, whatever. I don't control that crap. I don't control whether or not the SEC sues Ripple, effectively attacking all XRP holders, including me. I don't control that crap. But I can control whether or not I react emotionally. And so, first of all, I wouldn't do that even if I felt emotions. But more importantly, I'm so numb to this now. I genuinely Just do not freaking care. It just, the short-term stuff, eh. And also, there's this. Somebody responded to Attorney Bill Morgan named Dan and wrote, there is a well-known pattern for this as it is for everything. And he points out there's actually, and again, I'm not a chart guy, so I can't speak to validity of what Crypto Rover had or the chart on your screen here. This is just a known pattern, apparently. Symmetrical triangle trend reversal, showing that there's a symmetrical triangle. In this case, there's a breakout. In this case, a breakout to the downside, but it's a false continuation breakout, and then it just goes right back on up to the downside. So it's kind of funny. You can think there's a chart for everything. So better way of saying it is nobody freaking knows, right? There's also this too from StockJock83 on social media platform. Actually responded to my post that I just shared with you. Shared this chart, XRP price chart, with his own symmetrical triangle, and he says, this is actually a 3-year consolidation pattern, not the picture he's showing. I expect it to touch 39 cents before a breakout. So he's saying that it didn't break below a triangle, which means that the lines were drawn incorrectly. So you choose who to believe, but what I will tell you is whether the lines were drawn correctly or not, I believe that when the market hits euphoria, XRP is going to be there, and either my thesis is correct, either I'm right in thinking that XRP deserves to be in the top 10 cryptos in terms of market cap, or if I'm wrong, then something's going to change. We're going to find out, all of us, we're going to find out together. I have placed my bet, period. But either way, again, this recent downturn today is not something, it's not something that is wrong with XRP, period. Again, the headline from Cointelegraph. Bitcoin price stumbles after Fed dashes hopes for rate cuts in March. And again, this is just hilarious to me because the last 3 times there were rate cuts. I understand the macro environment was different and there were real world circumstances that were not so hot. But still, are we sure? And plus, why is it so bad that things are staying the same in terms of just being the rates being paused? The market really is freaking out because of this? That's ridiculous. But apparently that is what happened. The timing lines up. Piece reads as follows. Bitcoin stumbled on Wednesday after the United States Federal Reserve decided to leave interest rates unchanged and hose down hopes for a potential rate cut in March, leading one analyst to predict trouble ahead for U.S. stocks and Bitcoin. That's right, folks. Apparently, not having rate cuts means trouble ahead. Bitcoin go down, stocks go down. I'm not completely convinced of that, but okay. But look at this article. There are a couple things I want to share with you from this article covering the same topic. This is from ABC News. Fed leaves interest rates unchanged, delaying anticipated rate cuts. The Federal Reserve left rates unchanged on Wednesday, delaying highly anticipated rate cuts that the central bank expects to make sometime this year. The Fed funds rate remains between 5.25% and 5.5%. Quote, the committee seeks to achieve maximum employment and inflation at the rate of 2% over the longer run. End quote, the Fed said in a statement. Quote, the committee judges that the risks to achieving its employment and inflation goals are moving into better balance. End quote. Okay, so this isn't particularly surprising. Most people were anticipating that there would be a pause, I thought anyway, but still the market reacted the way that it reacted because reasons, of course. But are we going to get rate cuts this year? That seems highly likely. In fact, take a look at this right here. Reads as follows. An aggressive series of rate hikes since last year has spurred an increase in borrowing costs for everything, from mortgages to credit cards to auto loans. But the Fed has signaled that it plans to ease rates in response to falling inflation. Quote, and this is a quote from Powell, we believe that our policy rate is likely at its peak for this tightening cycle, and that if the economy evolves broadly as expected, it will likely be appropriate to begin dialing back policy restraint at some point this year, end quote. So there you go. He's expecting, he just said it right there. He's expecting to implement a rate cut at some point this year. So whether that's the summer or whether it's December, I don't pretend to know for sure. As far as I'm concerned, the later the better. That would be fantastic. But it's coming. And yes, I acknowledge there's a chance that the market could still rip to the upside if this happens. Again, it's just that the last 3 times this has happened, that hasn't been the case. So then you just have to question it. That's why nobody knows for sure, honestly. That you just, again, you can look at the macro factors, and I do believe that those matter as well. So we're just going to find out together. Either way, like, we don't have a choice. The world is the world. It's out of our hands. That's why, for me, my investment strategy is the same regardless. I'm hands off. Data tells me being hands off is the best way to make money over the long haul when it comes to equities and certainly crypto as well. One day, when my crypto is worth way more than it is today, I'm sure I'll be sufficiently enticed to sell most or all of it. You know, especially in particular, if there's a euphoria cycle, then I'll really be enticed, I suspect, to sell pretty much all of it, if not literally all of it. Because if I know what a blow off top looks like. If that happens, I'll be doing that, and then I'll just wait for the market to cool down, and then I'll just buy back in more with new money that I make, and then the rest will be out, and I'm going to be in preservation mode with that, just whether it's investing in real estate or something, or just putting it in a bunch of ETFs that track the S&P 500, something boring like that. It'll be preservation mode for me, because that stuff's obviously, generally speaking, less risky. So again, folks, the panic just doesn't make sense to me. I've been here over 6 years. It's tiresome. Like, I know it's going to hit people. That's why I wanted to make a video like this. And when this happens, I'll be happy to keep doing it. I hope it helps some people out there, because again, I can't tell you what's right for you specifically. And I would never assume that I know what's right for you. And especially since I don't know what your circumstances are. That's why it's not financial advice. But I hope, at least from an emotional perspective, I can help calm anybody down if you're having a hard time here, because there's nothing weird going on here. It's just the volatility of this market that you should expect based on 15 years of history for the world of crypto. It's doing the thing. Which is to say, it's being highly volatile, which means it's normal. It's just not always going to go up. It just trends up over the long haul. It just doesn't make sense to be fearful. And XRP's just got pretty much everything under the sun going for it, as far as I'm concerned. That's what it looks like to me. So we'll just find out what happens together. But I just don't think it makes sense to worry. I really genuinely don't. Even if XRP breaks further to the downside, I'll be like, okay. Because again, that in and of itself won't be an indication of anything to me. Not in a vacuum. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.